Okay, more of the Duncan's ramblings, video think on the topic of coronavirus land still. Well, actually this little film's a bit more than that, different subject really. It's kind of a little bit more to do with who the hell do I think I am to have an opinion on such a subject as employment, careers, unemployment, mass redundancies, political future, socioeconomic wellbeing, you name it. It's kind of in that strand, this little film. And what it's to do with is my background is so I'm a career coach first and foremost. It's where I built my occupational identity and regard as being my kind of calling, my heartland, passion. I found it the hard way though. I discovered it in the most unbelievably circuitous route through trial and error more than any semblance of any preconceived plan, like so many of my peers from the 5 schools that I went to in my early years. But leaving school in 1980 as I did, with a tatter-torn flag of an education flying as my standard, I ended into the warlike world of work in a very kind of what I regard as a very dodgy political era. You can make up your own minds upon what I'm saying regarding that particular economic landscape. Where I come from in the northeast of England is a part of the world where it was kind of ravaged by what I regard now, and the benefit of hindsight, is a kind of almost a socio-economic ethnic cleansing of the coal industry and the shipyards and the heavy industry, which had kind of given the northeast of England so much of its identity as the boiler house and engine room of the British economy. I think I was 17, and I entered into a very, very peculiar world of uncertainty, which draws some parallels to the world that some of our young people are going to be venturing into in this next couple of years. Although I have to say there's no question in my heart that it's going to be far, far more challenging for them than it was for me. 40 years ago, I had to work that out there. So 35 jobs later, I got to the age of 32. You can do your own sums on that as well, but it's pretty broken, and I'm not proud of it. And it took me so long to get a career guidance interview with a really talented career guidance practitioner, Mike, at Pathways in Sunderland, the Adult Career Development Centre. I'm just giving you an ugly close-up because of the wind. Anyway, he changed my life, and I owe him more than I'll ever be able to say, really. But on the strength, the coincidence was that I really fancied his job. He told me I was a natural-born careers advisor, and he was right. So, what does that mean now? How can we leverage my kind of trial and error and all those huge number of mistakes that I made all those years ago to perhaps help those in career transition facing socioeconomic uncertainty and embarking upon what are very, very strange career trajectories these days. And for example, there was no gig economy when I were a lad. Nothing even resembling that. There was a thing called a psychological contract existed. The psychological contract is a kind of backbone in many respects of British leadership and organisational management, where in return for staff loyalty there was a paternalistic stroke maternalistic mentality offered by the employing organisation to kind of reciprocate that loyalty by way of job security, pay, and all of the things that might go hand in hand with that. So in the early 1980s, all of that started to crumble. And here we are today at the other end of that continuum, and we've probably never had more job uncertainty and career volatility in those ensuing years than we do now. So perhaps this is a juncture at which to maybe think about a plan, think about who you are, what skills, talents, gifts, strengths, interests, behaviours, competencies, personality traits, what mistakes you've made, what achievements you might have generated, what your attitude is to work, what your ambition is, and some of the kind of those are maybe the vocational ingredients of your decision. But you might also consider your kind of your practical dimension. So things like the underpinning of your friends and family, where they live, where your social network are, where your emotional infrastructure is, what proximity you need to be geographically to that network, of that support network, especially in this kind of super volatile situation that we're in. How much money do you want to earn? How much money do you need to earn? There's a big difference in those two factors. What's the changing landscape mean for certain industries? Look at the car manufacturing industry. Look at the changes in energy use. If you're in utilities industry, if you're in oil and gas, allegedly we're way past peak oil, so people are talking about the end of the oil and gas industry. If you're looking at car design, what kind of cars do you want to design? I mean, the implications are vast, and although intimidating and very daunting if you're transitioning careers, they could just be within the next 6, 12, 18, 24 months, perhaps longer, turned into a significant opportunity if we position ourselves. Now, I'll be honest with you, there's no industry that's more kind of threatened than being a self-employed career coach, or a purpose coach as I prefer to call myself. Working with people across the spectrum, from young people, school leaving age, college age, university leaving, those embarking upon a university course. Look at the uncertainty now for those young people who maybe have GCSEs, examinations at 16, 18. Are those exams in the UK have been cancelled right now? We've just learned this week. So it means that they may be facing huge uncertainty with regards to whether or not they can actually get the college courses, the degree courses that they've been setting their sights on. So those opportunities could be closing down, but maybe other doors are opening too, and that's what this video is all about, really. That's the theme. I'm looking at my glasses against all odds. Is my glasses hopefully is half full? I know it certainly isn't overflowing at the moment. But on that note, I look forward to connecting more of these thought dots and video thinks in the near future. Thank you for watching.